Hello, Reese here. Once again, out on my local, making my way upstream with a bit of canoeing, bit of poling, making my way up nicely. But I thought I'd stop off, grab a coffee and have a quick chat about anxiety. Anxiety is a body's natural reaction to an uncomfortable situation. It can make people feel tense, worried or fearful about an unknown outcome. People typically feel anxiety around assessments, competition, new environments, new equipment, and new situations. As coaches and as leaders, it's important for us to assist people to alleviate some of these anxieties. If we help people to alleviate their anxiety around paddling, it will make them more comfortable, they'll enjoy the experience, and they'll come back to paddle with us more often. If someone's feeling anxious, they may be tense, their heart rate might be increased, they could have a dry mouth, and they'll be distracted by the unknown possible outcome. As coaches and as leaders, we need to anticipate what could go wrong and to think about the consequences, but for the people we're paddling with, we can focus on where they need to go and how to avoid those different situations. If we're in a more difficult environment, focus on the positives. Think about where we're going to end up, and what we need to do to get there. Or we can help them to understand why they need to go there. Through helping people to understand why things happen and why we do things in a certain way, it will assist to build their knowledge, and that can help to reduce their anxiety. For instance, I could tell people to paddle on river left and get into the eddy on river right at the bottom. Or I could tell them to avoid the hole on river right and make sure they don't finish on the left. Both mean the same, but one is far more positive and it focuses people on where they need to be. When speaking to new paddlers or taking people out into a different environment, I like to break things down into a simple process. I like to tell people to look where they want to go. Wherever we look, we generally end up. But unfortunately, we can't use the force. I've tried it a few times, it doesn't quite work. So we need to paddle where we want to go as well. If we're looking where we want to go, keep focusing on there and paddle towards it, we will end up where we want to go. As coaches and as leaders, we know that if we're focused on a hole or on a tree, on a rock, we generally end up going into those things. Whereas if we look towards the eddy, towards the nice V's, the nice line, wherever we want to end up, that's typically where we will go. When paddling with people, it's important to make sure they're comfortable within their craft and their environment. Happy paddlers are relaxed paddlers and are paddlers which can concentrate on where they're going and what they need to do. Spend some time adjusting equipment and showing people how it works and why it's important. Once we're more connected with our craft and happier inside it, we'll know that we can control it and we'll end up where we need to go. As I mentioned, anxiety can be caused by unknown outcomes. So if we're going down a bit of white water, focus on the positives of where we want to go, but if people are still slightly anxious, tell them the backup plans. What's the worst that's going to happen? Yeah, we're going to go down through there. If you don't make the eddy on river left, don't worry, there's a nice big eddy further down on river right. As coaches and leaders, once we know our environments, we can tell people more about it, which will assist to reduce their anxieties. I like to remember motivation theory as well when it comes to anxiety. Make things more relatable to the individual. Break things down into terms that they will understand and that they're comfortable with. Give people options. Do they want to go first? Do they want to go last? Do they want to watch you? Do they want to have a greater explanation? What works for them to assist them? And think about their competency. Are they happy in this environment? We know that occasionally we need to push ourselves and go into slightly bigger environments to see what's going on, to see how we do. But this needs to be done at a progressive rate that's positive for the individual. We want to be moving towards that frontier adventure, trying things, pushing ourselves, but we need to be avoiding misadventure. Through gaining experience, we have a variety of situations that we know we have coped with and we have succeeded with. When we're out with people and they are getting towards that frontier adventure, if things do start to escalate, we need to know that we can reduce things, make things easier, and have a plan B to avoid that misadventure. Let's help others to enjoy a safe learning environment. We all enjoy our paddling. We go out, we have fun, we test ourselves, we're with a group of people that we know. Let's help others to do the same. Smiles on faces.